I am Stéphane Pineau. I'm the CEO of Training Orchestra. Very happy to be here. Thanks very much for being with us. So we're going to talk about training resource management system. When we talk about technology in the learning space, usually everybody think about the LMS, the learning management system, or everybody think about the content. But when it's time to talk about technology, learning technology for instructor-led training, for ILT, you know, everybody think about laptop, about virtual classroom. But today we're here to talk about technology dedicated for the learning industry, but to manage instructor-led training. So back office system to manage training operations, and that's a very important part of technology. So let's have a quick look on the situation. Today, ILT, instructor-led training, it's still 70% of the training investment. And you know what? 56%, the effectiveness is 56% of ILT, while the effectiveness of e-learning is only 21%. So think about it. That's 70%, most important part of your budget, and that's the most effective way to train your people. You have here a very interesting graphic from Brandon Hall that compared the different methodology, and you see that ILT, instructor-led training, be it classroom training or virtual classroom, is the most important part of training, but it's also the most effective, you know? So when we talk with a chief learning officer, just like you, they say that why are you doing e-learning? 70% are doing e-learning, so not ILT, e-learning to reduce the cost. So the best way to reduce the cost would be e-learning. You know, we have seen that it's not the most effective way to train, but it's not for it's not to improve the quality of training that you are doing e-learning. This is to reduce the cost. But there is another way to reduce the cost that is very popular in Europe. That's to optimize instructor-led trainees. So how can we do that? Okay, so let's compare the way to do it. So the best way to reduce the cost of training, talking about ILT, is to optimize the resource use. When we talk about optimizing resource use, we talk about managing a better way the occupancy rate of the session, you know, just like in an airline company. We will come back on this subject a little bit later. And also optimizing the resource use, rooms, trainers, occupancy rate of all the resource. That's the most important part, 74%. Then optimizing the budget. Who knows here what is his training budget? Everybody will say, yes, I know. How do you know what is your budget? You consolidate the information in Excel, and that's a huge problem. You don't have a real-time control. You don't do cost control on your training budget because your LMS, learning management system, is not helping on this subject. Plus, ILT, and learning is more and more complex, curriculum, more and more complexity. And so one very important idea to optimize ILT is also to decrease the administrative burden and to improve reporting. On all those elements that are very important, okay, the LMS, the learning management system, are not really useful. Plus, think about it, today we have a kind of Uberization of the economy. You know, more and more companies are outsource their employees. They don't have less and less employees and more contractors, more and more partners, more and more suppliers. Let's take the example of the automotive industry. The car dealer, the distributor, they are not the employees, but they have to train them. Let's take the example of Boeing or Airbus. They are selling complex products, so they have to train their clients. So you have more and more training, not only for the employees, L&D, what the L&D department is in charge of, but also for external audience. And guess what? When you compare the figures, $150 billion is invested in the training of the employees, while you have $170 billion which is invested in the training of external audience. So that's also very important. So that's why it's more and more complex. So ILT is the most effective way to train. ILT is the biggest investment. ILT is becoming more and more complex because you have to train not only your employees, but you have to train your ecosystem. You have to train your distributors, you have to train your clients, and you have less and less employees and more contractors, partners, or freelancers that you have to train. So it's changing a lot. And one question that we have very frequently is that is e-learning is going to replace definitively ILT. So for the first year, last year, Brendan Hall has demonstrated that e-learning is going down. Okay, we are doing less e-learning in 2016 than in 2015, but we are doing more ILT. And do you know what it is? Those two pictures. The first one is the new campus of Deloitte. Do you think that this campus is to do e-learning or is it to do ILT? Of course it's to do ILT. ILT is growing. Why is it growing again? And why it's going to be here forever? It's because it's the most effective way to train. You know, we do not have a better way to engage someone and to improve its skills than doing instructor-led training. So that's why the best company like Deloitte, like General Electric are opening or maintaining their campus to manage instructor-led training. So as we said, ILT is more and more complex. So what you need is not an LMS. An LMS is here to manage e-learning. That's a system which is for the learner. And what you need is a training resource management system. So let's have a look to what is a training resource management system. So training means that it's designed for any kind of training organization. Why? Because we have seen that you don't have only to train your employees, you also have to train external audience, clients, partners, and so on. Resource management, why? Because when you are doing ILT, instructor-led training, you have to manage resources, and that's a strong focus that we have on administration, processes. That's a back office system. And a system, why? Because it's an all-in-one system in which you can manage all the training process end to end. So the difference between a training resource management system and a learning management system is that the training resource management system is designed for back office, you know, to manage the training operations, while an LMS is a front-end system designed to manage e-learning. It's a system designed for the learners, it's a front-end, while a training resource management system is a system designed for the CLO and his teams to manage logistics, financial aspect of training, just like scheduling capabilities, optimizing the resource use, the trainers, the rooms, and so on. So if we take a deeper dive into the training resource management system features, so it's logistics, you know, it's scheduling, you know, creating session, checking the availability of the resource, ensuring the fact that the trainer has the skills to train, he speaks Spanish, he is able to travel to Paris, and he has the certification that are required to do this specific training. Automated the administration task. We have seen that it's more and more complex, more and more people to manage inside and outside the company. Learning path, curriculum, more and more complexity, you know, and all that today is done in Excel. We will talk about it later. And also managing the financial aspect. So it's a system also to do cost tracking, to consolidate all your investment, your training investment, and to do cost control, to keep control of what's happening. How do you invest? Do you respect your budget? Where will you be in 3 months? And also to manage sales and profitability, because more and more of those training are sold to the client, are sold to the contractors. If we take the example of PwC, we were talking about Deloitte 2 minutes ago, PwC, you know, they train a lot of their clients because they have many expertise, tax, legal, audit, and their clients need their expertise, and so they sell. It's a for-profit activity. They sell to their client. So the result of the managing, thanks to a training resource management system, your training activity, your ILT activity, is that you optimize your budget. It's really easy to reduce by 30% your investment. You can optimize resource use, occupancy rate of your session and of your trainers and room, and you can ensure and secure your training operation. More and more training organization of an ISO certification, ISO 29990 certification, so you can streamline the process, all the administrative process, and you can manage profitability and customer loyalty. One main driver is to have every seat full. When you see this picture that I took when I arrived here, you see that the plane is full. Let's think about not your point of view as someone who traveled, but the airline point of view. What is important, and when they succeed, it's when the plane is full, and that's exactly the same story for the ILT. You need a system that helps you to optimize resource use and occupancy rate. And it's very difficult to do that in Excel, very unsecure to do that in Excel. It's not streamlined. And the situation that we see is that everybody has the best LMS, and is doing, end of the day, everything in Excel. So and is it something that you really need? Today you already have an LMS, a learning management system, you have a CRM system, you have a content management system, you have a system to create content, CMS, you buy content to many vendors, but the piece that is missing is the training resource management system. You have everything which is absolutely perfect to manage your e-learning, 30%, and you don't have anything to manage the 70% of your training investment that are the instructor-led training. So just 2 words about myths and fact. First, it's wrong to say that the only way to reduce training cost is to move ILT to e-learning, and if you do that, you will have bad result, because the knowledge retention rate is very bad for e-learning. Second idea is that training is focused mainly on the international audience. That's on the internal audience. That's a myth, because companies have to serve more and more external audience, and also that ILT is straightforward to manage, while it's more and more complex to do it. And usually, we always say that training is a cost center. It's a profit center. More and more training departments are turning from a cost center to a profit center, but they need the right to do that. So just a quick word about Training Orchestra. So we are the world leader of training management system, or training resource management system. We manage more than 500 clients, and our system is here to help you reducing the cost, securing the training process, and increase the business activity when you have to train external audiences. So that's a toolbox in which you can manage the forecast, collect all the need, make the arbitration, manage your budget. Then you have intuitive scheduling capabilities. You can make the most of what you have, your resources, trainers, room, optimize the occupancy rate of the session, and optimize the use of the resource. You can also manage the profitability. Is this session profitable if you are selling this session to some clients? And you can streamline invoicing and manage autonomous reporting, because thanks to the reporting and the indicator, you can take good decision in real time. So we include in this software as a service system the many best practice for more than 500 clients. And we also have a global presence. So thanks very much for your time, and we stay at your entire disposal if you want more information about Training Orchestra.